This video is brought to you by Repair It. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Hope you all had a great holiday season. Before we jump into the video today, I have a quick exciting announcement, and that is that I'm doing a second community trip. This time, we're going to Iceland in the wintertime. I am so stoked for this one because the activities that we have planned are absolutely epic. We're going to 2 national parks. We're checking out the Blue Lagoon, hopefully seeing the Northern Lights. We're going to go to a couple of hot springs, a couple of waterfalls. We're doing a geothermal bath one day. We're going on a coastal walk. And of course, plenty of photography throughout the whole trip. So if this at all sounds interesting to you, definitely go to the link in the description where you can sign up for the email list to get notified right when the trip goes live, and you can snag an early bird spot to get a little discount on the overall trip price. I would love to have you join me on this trip. You can be anyone from anywhere to come along. If you have any questions or concerns, you can leave a comment below or shoot me a DM on Instagram. Otherwise, there will be more information about the trip coming out soon, like dates and whatnot. So like I said, go to the description, sign up for that email list, and you'll get notified right when all that info comes out. Without further ado, let's jump into the video. We recently had a solid snowstorm up here in Washington, which isn't very common down in the areas of lower elevation. The last time this happened, I shot some medium format and 35mm images around my grandparents' property and was really pleased with the results. So this time around, I thought I'd move my efforts to the evening in the neighborhoods of Tacoma and shoot some long exposures. I loaded some Portra 400 into my Pentax 67ii and headed out around 10 p.m. When I drive around the neighborhood all the time, and I always see these cool locations and cool houses and buildings and stuff, so it just makes it even cooler that they're covered in snow now. Yeah, I might grab a couple here, and I'd love to email them to you when I get it developed. So, oh, I respect the grind, man. You're putting on for the community. I love it.
The community is a wonderful community.
Dude, yeah.
Good people.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, have a good night and stay warm. All right. Bit of a bummer. I was originally drawn to take this picture because Gary and the employees were standing outside of the building shoveling all the snow, and I thought that was a cool story element. But now they've all gone inside. So that is a classic when it comes to filming these YouTube videos and trying to take pictures. Once you set up all the video shots and do everything else you need to do, that moment is usually gone. So it's a give and take when it comes to making these videos, that is for sure. Just as I suspected, I really needed the employees shoveling snow in the frame to make this picture, but I actually like it quite a bit more if we crop to a wider aspect ratio and get rid of the snow in the foreground and the blank sky at the top of the frame. All right, found a spot out here, 35th and Houston Street, with a couple of compositions, hopefully. Starting out with a little composition of the street signs here. Vertical. I'm gonna take a landscape one as well because I really can't decide between the two at the moment. Alright, so as you can see on this vertical composition, we're suffering from some classic Pentax mirror slap, causing the camera to shake and rendering some jitter and some motion blur into the image. You can see it pretty clearly if we zoom into the street sign there. Now I reshot this same subject in landscape orientation, and for whatever reason, that picture turned out nice and sharp, not a lot of camera shake at all, so the camera just must have been more stable in that landscape orientation on the tripod. I was bummed because I thought I'd like the vertical composition more, but after looking at the two, I actually think I prefer the landscape orientation from a compositional standpoint, so the fact that that one is also the sharper image, I really can't complain. Alright, well, I don't know if you guys can see this, but I'm having a full stare down with a deer right now. There. My finger's so out of focus, but yeah, right there. It's okay. It's kind of coming towards me. This thing is moving right at me. Huh, okay. Well, anyway. Well, I do quite enjoy this frame of my Subaru caked in snow. Well, the wheels and rims caked in snow anyway, but I think I have to take the mandatory Subi in the snow picture. Alright, I am setting up a shot of probably the coolest scene that I've come across this evening. It's this old car under a tarp in front of a very unique kind of garage. Very Wes Anderson-y, and we got some warm lights contrasting the blue and light blue color of the garage. Alright, so this picture ended up being a bit of a disaster. Essentially what happened was I had the shot framed up in a way where I needed the neck of the tripod fully extended to get a higher vantage point. And when you do that, it obviously makes the tripod extremely unstable, and that's only amplified with a camera like the Pentax sitting on top of it. So I knew there was going to be a lot of camera shake as soon as I pressed the shutter down, which would render motion blur into the frame, just like that picture you saw previously of the street sign. So in order to combat that, I decided to stop down the aperture to f/22 to extend the exposure time out long enough, making it so the motion blur essentially wouldn't have an opportunity to be rendered into the frame. But then I started to realize if I shoot it at f/22, the lights in the image, the lights on the garage, were going to be very starred out. It's going to have that gnarly starring effect that you get when you stop down apertures. And that's only amplified again by the 55mm lens on the Pentax, which is notorious for bad starring. So then I was going back and forth on what I should do, and I was trying to figure out what my game plan was. I decided to just go ahead and shoot the picture at f/22, but in the midst of all that chaos and deciding what to do, I didn't actually change any of the settings on my camera. So I had this whole plan figured out, and I just didn't execute it at all. So yeah, I shot it at whatever my previous photo was shot at, and I quickly realized this. Oh my god, I had it at the... and was quite frustrated. So then I decided, okay, I'm gonna hold the double exposure lever and then wind it so that I can add the additional time needed onto that frame, and then I could essentially salvage the image. But while winding the film, I first of all moved the tripod slightly so the frame wouldn't align properly, basically ruining the image. And I forgot that my shutter cable was already locked in the firing position, so as soon as I wound the film, the next shot just popped off. And then I was quite frustrated at that point. I just fucked this up so... Oh, it's because this is locked in. Oh my fuck. Now, while this first picture obviously is not usable, it's not a great picture by any means, I did actually find that kind of blurry aspect kind of a nice artistic touch. It's like one of those fun film surprises that you just end up getting when you shoot film, I guess. But it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. It kind of looks like painting, and I say that a lot. I feel like when I make mistakes, I go, oh, it kind of looks like a painting. But I think it actually really does kind of work well with this picture. But still, I ended up shooting the frame again. I ended up lowering the neck of the tripod to get a more stable shot, and that picture turned out pretty solid. I'm really pleased with that one. But yeah, this whole subject was just a mess to photograph. But when it was all said and done, I think I ended up with actually 2 somewhat okay images. I thought this photo and scene in general was pretty wild because the sky was so incredibly bright, and yet it was 1 in the morning at this point. Just goes to show how much light that snow on the ground can reflect. I mean, this photo honestly looks like it was taken kind of as the sun was coming up on an overcast day right in the early morning, yet it was the middle of the night. So I think this is a pretty fascinating picture. I apologize if it seems like I have a lack of enthusiasm right now. I feel like I'm about to have a brain aneurysm. This is definitely not good for my health. Alright, took that last one of this house with the 55. We're gonna reshoot this composition on the 105. Feels like I'm gonna collapse at any second. That's 1 second at 5.6, which means we'll do 5.6 at 2. Wait for the wind to die. I don't want these bushes moving at all. After I shot this picture, I was completely dead inside, emotionally, physically, mentally. I was beat to a pulp, and I really didn't have the energy to pull my video camera out for the last couple of frames that I had on the roll, so I just walked around close to where I was previously shooting and found 2 more interesting subjects, and I'm really stoked with the way that both of the pictures turned out. I particularly love the one of the car in front of the house. I love the warmth of it. And man, that film cliche, the old car in front of the house, it's really coming up clutch for me there because I love the way that picture turned out. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap up the video. Thank you very much for tuning in. Before we go, quick reminder, Iceland trip. If you're interested, go to that description, click the link, sign up for the email list. You'll get notified right when the trip goes live, and you'll get some more information about dates and whatnot very soon. Lastly, I'd like to thank today's sponsor, which is Wondershare's Repair It. Repair It is a professional photo, video, and file repair tool used to repair corrupted files. If you work in the creative space, you've probably dealt with corrupted files at one point or another. Repair It has a simple 3-step process that allows for the repair of these corrupted files. It even offers an advanced repair option that enables you to restore severely damaged videos. Head over to repairit.wondershare.com and click the Try It Free button up top. Once downloaded and installed, just drag and drop your corrupted files into the program, click the repair button, and then preview and save them to your desired location. Repair It also has a free online video repair tool if you're looking to quickly and easily repair shorter corrupted video files. Repair It supports popular video, photo, and file formats like MP4, MOV, AVI, JPEGs, and more. Whether you've experienced a power surge, system crash, updating errors, or file mishandling resulting in corrupted or damaged media, Repair It is a great tool to fix that media and get your creative process back online. Check out the link and info in the description to try Repair It for free. Well, here we are at the end of the video. If you made it this far, leave a comment below saying, I like my grain extra spicy, and I'll do an Instagram live and shotgun a White Claw for every one of those comments I get. Peace.